Good evening, greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Badhundash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and certified international educational and training institute. In last 3 years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seeker from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organization. Institute of Global Professional is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not a 50-print case, one skill just by offering formal education. So it provides effective training and consultation to generate professionals. We distribute our services locally, national, international to students, job seeker, job holder, and also for learners, the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivational letter, gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game, website, free course, concepts, and more. Empower you to learn to meet their expectations and become highly skilled people. We implement our training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainers, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for this street of profession. We believe that knowledge and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we present. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offer quality service so that can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment boxes. Support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment boxes. Support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment boxes. Support is continuous support. We already completed 2059 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 2059 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website, www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account logged in, you cannot enjoy our service. So create your account for us with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy our feature. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, if you participate in live quiz competition on our website, we replace slide. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified certificate. Now it's easier and time limited because after the session, we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download a certificate of gratitude. If you are an online live quiz competition winner, you can download a certificate of participation. If you are selected for lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in an award function which organizes comments support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instead prepare and download 18 types of certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influence in the Pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge, Certificate of Social Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Engagement 2020, 2021, and 2020 Participation Webinar Series 1. Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2. Teaching is a foreign language and assessment. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3. Digital Classroom Engagement 2. Certificate of Participation the new trend in education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskill Social Leadership and Management Skills, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research Comprehension Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching Experiment Arts, Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tooling Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of Participation which we can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000 plus international level quiz with verified certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teacher. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our previous premium services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical problem may late sending on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous condition. We solve all issue from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check it for all webinar details. This tutorial you can still check our button and pages on our website. Surely I can say be benefited. Thank you, but note that without not enjoy ourselves. At present, we are going to start our 2060 webinar, which name is Pedagogical Teaching, and today our speaker name is Mustafa Khan. She is from Pakistan. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, ma'am, I'll share a little bit about her. Gold medalist at master's level, senior teacher, coordinator, PF Girls College, Rawalpindi. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation.
Good evening from
Hello,
Pakistan.
ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening from Pakistan.
Ma'am, please
And
present your presentation.
it will just take a few more seconds. My presentation is there. Just a minute.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, just a minute. I've been continuously trying to get.
Yes, ma'am. The stage is yours. You can start your presentation now.
Okay, may I start? Okay, again, once I would like to say thank you to IGP, the Institute of Global Professionals, for giving me another chance, another opportunity to be a part as a trainer. And I'm feeling once again very glad to be a part of IGP. And the topic on which I have to give the presentation today is pedagogical practices in teaching. This is a topic that I have selected particularly with reference to Pakistan and with reference to some of the Asian and African countries where development rate is slightly lower than the other countries which are there in the developed continents of the world. So let me take the start from here. Let us first start with the meaning of pedagogy. That what does pedagogy actually mean? Pedagogy, it's the discipline actually that includes practices, processes, activities, theories, their application in education to take teaching and education to a higher level. Now, the most important thing is that when you are particularly related to the process of education, either you are imparting the education or you are learning, you are passing to the learning phase, the very important term which every teacher and every learner, every educationist should know is pedagogy. Pedagogical practices are those practices which are a part of a separate discipline in which not only the practices but the processes, all the activities related to the process of education, some theoretical beliefs, and some beliefs which are continuously in the phase of change, and their particular application and implementation in the process of education, in the process of learning of people and persons who are engaged in education just to take teaching to a higher level of education, just to get more benefit from education, is what we say is it comes under the process of pedagogical practices, and they all come under the discipline of pedagogy. So let us continue with some more information about this pedagogy. The thing should be very clear that it is a separate discipline today, and it includes all those processes either of evaluation, of assessment, or of learning, which are going to impact the whole educational and learning process of a child, as well as the person who is acting as a teacher. So we believe that pedagogy, it is in fact teaching and learning. It's a mutual relationship actually between teaching and learning. Pedagogy in a broad spectrum is a beautiful combination of, you can say, teaching, learning, and assessment, or we say it TLA. Teaching it actually is what the instructors are imparting. Instructors are those people actually who are seeing themselves as, and who are considering themselves, who are acting as teachers within the educational process. They are known as instructors, as they are giving instructions to the learners. So teaching is one part of pedagogy. Learning is another important part of pedagogy. What the students are imparted with, what we are imparting the students with, what they are learning from us, and in fact we are also learning from them, that is also a part of pedagogy. And coming towards the third most important part of pedagogy, that is the assessment of teaching learning processes and practices. As I already told you that it's an entire completely whole different discipline. So within that discipline, assessment and evaluation, they do matter a lot. Of all the educational process, of all the learning process, the assessment, it really matters. So teaching, learning, and assessment of teaching, learning processes and practices, they actually make up the pedagogical process. And who dares to teach must never cease to learn. So I was already telling you that teaching and learning, you cannot detach the two things with each other. These are not only the things, these are in fact the processes, these are the lifelong learnings, and these two can never be detached from each other. If you are a good learner, you are a good teacher. If you are a good teacher, you are a good learner. So they are both directly proportional to each other. Then coming towards the basics of pedagogy, focusing on teaching quality is the very far most basic thing within pedagogy discipline. Conversations for change. Yes, something very important is that as nothing is continuous except change. So we must think about the ideas, we must generate the ideas, and we must talk about that how can we adapt in the educational process for this change that is taking place all around. For example, in the post-COVID era, that was such a drastic change, and that affected education directly and indirectly in many different ways. And though the major impact was on the health sector, but in the same context, we can say that education is one such area which did not remain unimpacted by COVID. So we started, the educationists, they started thinking about the processes, about the means and modes to continue education. So we cannot deny the fact that one basic aspect in the discipline of pedagogy is conversations, and yes, positive conversations for change. Then the third basic thing is teachers and leaders learning together. Again, this is something very important. The leaders who are actually the mentors within the teaching groups and above the teaching groups, those who are the leaders and those who are the teachers, they must work hand in hand with each other. And until and unless they have a strong knot with each other, the pedagogical practices and processes cannot be proceeded ahead. So it's a saying of Paul Freire that whoever teaches learns in the act of teaching, and whoever learns teaches in the act of learning. That is the same thing, that you cannot deny this thing, that if you are a good learner, you are a good teacher. If you are a good teacher, you are a good learner. If you are ready to acquire something new, if you are ready to learn, you are ready to teach. If you are ready to teach dedicatedly, obviously you are supposed to learn something, you are aimed to learn something, you have decided to learn something by your teaching processes. Coming towards some of the factors that affect pedagogy, all the pedagogical processes which are taking around us, and the system within which we are surviving, we are going to see one by one the factors which affect pedagogy. The first one is the competence of the instructor. Instructor is mainly for the teacher who is imparting education. The competent teachers, the competent instructors obviously they have good grasp over all the pedagogical process, and they, as an entity and as a collective, you can say as a part of a collective system, they play a very pivotal role in imparting education. Then the field of study, obviously the particular area, the particular discipline, other than the within the pedagogical process, within the pedagogical practice, the particular field of study should be very clear. And another important thing is the availability of additional resources. We should also be very well aware while we are just imparting knowledge and learning, we should know the feasibility and the possibility of the practical application of all our learning methodology and process within the available additional resources as well as the additional resources which can be helpful for us. And obviously the learning styles of students, there is a variety, there is a diversity of students within a single classroom, within a single school, and within the entire educational setup. So every single child sometimes uh, exhibit a different style of learning. A good teacher, a good instructor is the one who has knowledge and who is well informed, well aware of the individual needs of the children. Only then the pedagogical practices can be successfully applied anywhere. Coming towards our next slide, we must not actually forget the concept of inclusion. Inclusive education is that we have to include all the people who are around us, whom we want to make learn from us. So this is important that the instructor should also be a sort of an all-rounder teacher. Then importance of pedagogy in teaching, and remember, people are never born with all these abilities. Some people are, they have some inborn capacities and capabilities, but all the teachers and all the instructors, they are not at the same level. Five fingers are never equal, but through experiences and through passing through different processes of education, we learn a number of things. And again, we are learning when we are teaching, and these are some of the lifelong learnings which sometimes they do affect the educational process. But if we are going to learn the things in the positive direction, in the positive way, they are going to impact the personalized lives of the instructors also, and they can be a part, they can be a good part of the societies as well in the longer run. Then coming towards the importance of pedagogy in teaching, now I'm particularly talking about only teaching. Improved quality of learning, students more receptive during learning sessions, and improved student participation, interaction, interactive classes, and knowledge imparted effectively across a spectrum of learners. Again, the same point, diversity of students and meeting up with the needs, with the diversified needs of children, or with the diversified needs of the learners who are around you, and development of cognitive skills of students, not only their critical thinking. You can just activate the critical thinking, the creativity, and some other aspects, some other potentials, hidden potentials of the children. You are trying to dig them out through your improved pedagogical practices. If you are very well aware of what to do, what to teach, what to be the next level of teaching, then obviously the quality of learning and teaching, they both get improved. The need and necessity, or simply the importance of pedagogy, is that it nurtures 21st century teaching skills. And what are the 21st century teaching learning skills are? Collaboration, integration, digital literacy, creativity, critical thinking, reflective actions. These are only a few names which I have just named these skills. There is a long list of several other skills which we need to activate among our children, among the learners of the modern day, of the modern century. In order to cope up with the technological drive the world is facing today, we need to make our children the better adapters of the changing world. And above all these, the simplest thing is that encouraging the growth process and the development process of learning, developing the students' cognitive skills, and side by side developing your own skills and expertise and experience is only by means of good pedagogical practices. Coming towards the planning of pedagogy. Now, we all know that when we enter a classroom, we should be very well prepared and planned. The process of developing the thinking behind an entire lesson, what you are thinking and developing, what you have to impart in your class, that is going to be your process of planning actually. A class in general or a specific learning activity. For example, if you have to just give a single lesson for 20 minutes, for 25 minutes, even then you need to be planned. And if you have to continue the same topic for a week, let's say if you have to divide your whole work into three phases, into two phases, into four phases, so what you have to do is that you have to make something ready in your mind. That ready in your mind is actually your planning. So if you are well planned, you are obviously uh, able to project whatever your ideas are there in your mind. And the planning involves the materials to be used, the learning environment, and you have to create the learning environment. You are the one who has to create the learning environment, who has to make it a better place for learners. The materials to be used, they should be very clear in your mind. Some additional materials, if needed, you should enlist those also in your mind. The tasks to be assigned, what you have to do, what you have to assign, what you have to make others to do, and the related interactions. Again and again, the main focus of pedagogical practices should be interactions. Interactive learning is so far the best mode of learning that keeps the students engaged within the class, and that keep actually you also engaged within the class. And an estimated time frame, you must not exceed an estimated time frame, your time management. As in the daily chores of life also, the time management matters, and so does it also matter in pedagogical practices. There are five pedagogical approaches. We are going to discuss each and every of these five pedagogical approaches one by one. The first approach is the constructivist approach. This is actually the learning in which the students, the learners, they experience and they experiment the things and then they learn. They construct their concepts by practically experimenting what they are learning, and that has a very long lasting effect. Reflective approach is in which the teachers and the learners, they go hand in hand with each other. They they should have some reflections of their work. Their work should be seen within the interaction between the teacher and the student. Collaborative approach is the approach, as clear from the name and the title. Uh, it is basically teamwork, encouraging group work. That is also a good way to make people learn things. When they learn collaboration, this is also 21st century learning skill. Collaboration, it matters and it works. And for achieving greater and broader and larger goals, collaborative approach is a very good one. Coming towards the fourth approach, that is the integrative approach. When you are integrating the previous concept and the upcoming concept, when you are relating or you are trying to bridge the gap in between different the previous concepts, the new concepts, the present concepts, then you are actually working within the integrative approach. And that is the integrative approach is also a very nice one, as it links it works more or less like a series, the series of concepts. And this is the approach, it does not let the learners forget the previous things, and in this way they can easily move on to the next level. Inquiry based approach, based on you can say exploration, inquiry, exploration, finding out, discovering. That is also the approach that has a long lasting impact on the learners. Using a combination of pedagogical approaches, the five approaches which we have studied in the previous slide: constructivist approach, reflective approach, collaborative approach, integrative approach, and inquiry based approach. Now, using a combination of pedagogical approaches that support, challenge, and engage each student is the best strategy. So, at times you need one approach, at times you need other approach, or at times you can use a combination of these approaches. That can make you one of the best mm, teachers or instructors within your educational system. In the beginning, I told you that I shall be focusing mainly on Pakistan, as well as not only on Pakistan. Uh, in fact, I shall be mm, discussing the main problems and the pedagogical standards and some of the obstacles and some of the challenges which the Asian countries, particularly the developing countries, which are facing. So, since I belong to Pakistan, so I have taken the example of Pakistan. The pedagogical standards in Pakistan, which we ideally want to see in our educational system, they include the subject matter knowledge, the human growth and development, knowledge of religious values, as Pakistan is a Muslim country, some of the other South Asian countries, they go for their religion. Social life skills, we want to make good citizens, we want to make good social human beings. Instructional strategies are one important standard of educational system in Pakistan, and assessment and evaluation. These are some of the standards on which our pedagogical practices are based in our country. And the main objectives of these standards which we want to attain and we ideally want to see in our educational systems, though there are regional differences and there is disparity on different bases in Pakistan and in other Asian countries also, so we cannot achieve all the standards which we have set. However, we have been trying to achieve those standards. The basic objectives are providing teachers an opportunity for establishing appropriate teacher-pupil relationship, providing teachers an opportunity for evaluating students on suitable criteria, providing teachers an opportunity for developing healthy relationships with others, including administrators, colleagues, parents, and students. Now, all these five are very important: administrators, colleagues, parents, and students. These four, how they are to be linked with the teachers. So, and we want to provide an opportunity to the teachers to get linked with all these four: the colleagues of the teachers, the leaders, the mentors, the administrators, the heads of the institutions, the parents, who are actually the guardians of the learners, and the students themselves who are the learners. So, the objective of our educational system is to create a set balanced relationship between these five, providing teachers an opportunity for developing practical learning experiences of monitoring, control, and command, and providing teachers an environment for putting theories into practices. What theories we have been learning, we have learned for over the years. Now, how to put them into practice is one basic objective. And some other objectives are enabling effective planning. Planning, I have discussed earlier. Enabling the growth of desirable professional interest and attitudes, enabling to gain from constructive criticism. Now, not only in Pakistan, not only in Asia, but in the rest of the countries of the world also, we see that there is also criticism and there is also resistance which the teachers have to face. But obviously, as we have to give good citizens to, good teachers to, so we have to enable the people around us, either they are any kind of professionals, to gain from constructive criticism. And constructive criticism must not be, you can say, it must not be snubbed. Enabling self evaluation and exploring self strengths and weaknesses. Uh, I remember when I was doing my PhD in educational planning and management, our teacher used to say that you should know where are you lying, and you should know where you have to go to. You should know your destination, and you are the person you who knows very well, okay, what more I have to do. If you are an IM personality, then nobody can do anything with you. But if you want to learn something, then you want to know where do you lie and how much more distance you have to travel. And obviously, the learners, the teachers, the instructors, those who are the true mentors, they have to cover one extra mile. And for covering that one extra mile, they should know how to cover up their weaknesses. Then, enabling effective use of teaching materials and enabling exchange of ideas as well. Exchange of ideas, great minds, they always discuss good ideas. They just take out the best from the ideas of others and generate their own ideas. The phases of teaching practices in Pakistan, we have three phases actually. Not only in Pakistan, in general also we have the three phases. One is the pre-active phase that refers to basically the planning. The interactive phase, which is the intermediate phase, and that refers to the conduction and management of whatever you have planned. And the post-active phase, it refers to the follow-up, the evaluation. It refers to the consolidation of what you have managed to conduct. That is the post active phase. And we can simply say these all phases as 5 E's: engaging, exploration, explanation, elaboration, and evaluation. These three phases, they can be described as to engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and then finally evaluate. The related challenges to pedagogical practices application within the Asian, African, developing countries, in particular in Pakistan, they include understanding diversity within the class. This is the very first thing that I told you, that inclusion, the concept of inclusion should be very clear. And since we have a diversity all around within the country, within the continent, so the understanding of diversity is a big challenge. Appropriate understanding, lack of effective communication, at times communication becomes a barrier. Staying up to date with changing technology, this is the time of technological drive. Those who do not learn, those who are hesitant to learn technology, in fact they are hesitant to go ahead. Communicating with parents, at times you have to train and teach the parents also. Pressure from school administrators, not every time, but in most of the cases there are different pressures which are there from the heads, as you have to see the people just going at their position when you are an administrator, which is a pretty difficult task. However, we have seldom very good examples of very good administrators. Creating engaging lesson plans that fit the curriculum. Lesson planning and imparting those lessons as per your planning that fit and that match within the curriculum, that is also one problem. Behavioral engagement, behavioral management. Behavior management is not only from the side of learners but also from the side of your colleagues, parents, heads. You should know how to manage their behavior. This is a big challenge. Paperwork, most of the paperwork is done, detailed documentations are there, and practical applications are lesser. Time consuming administrative tasks are there, uh, which apparently seem of less practical utility. Lack of funding, as the stakeholders and in the budget allocation, we need more funds to be allocated for education, and lack of motivation to be productive. People are mostly salary centered. They are not motivated to work. They adopt teaching at times as the only profession after being rejected in any other professional field. However, teaching is, I think, this is the profession of prophets, and it must be taken as one of the most holy professions, which in history the prophets have also adopted. So, commitment to work, motivation is one basic binding force which can make the pedagogical practices successful. The possibilities are, we can be a role model, we can exercise flexibility, set Clear classroom rules should be there. Be generous in imparting and seeking knowledge. Generosity and acceptance. I think they are some of the key things, the key possibilities. And making best use of available resources. Be creative, be innovative. How can you be creative? How can you be innovative? You should know yourself. When you are good digital literate, then you should know how to be creative and innovative in the modern world. And the commitment of teacher, it actually starts from the being a professional member. Just show your best performance, give your best to the institute, to the students, and to the society. The school, students, and society, these three S: your school, your students, your society. These are the three concentric circles which are based upon your professional commitment and your, you can say, performance. And the conclusion I can simply say is teaching practice is an activity which can enable individuals prepare themselves to cope up with future challenges. It totally deals actually with the, though the within the system, the efficiency of work can be enhanced by good teaching practices. But if you want to produce effective citizens, effective social human beings, man is a social animal, so you need to be a very good teacher. You need to be a very wise person. Wiser and wider application of best experimented practices can be a milestone for professional adolescents of any nation's educators. So just look at this sentence, that how can the application of best experimented practices be a landmark on the nations? Those who produce good teachers, they produce good citizens, good nationals. A great nation is always the breed of its great teachers. And in this world of internationalism, even the entire world, as we say that we use the word global village. So we belong to the same earth, as part of the earth, as part of this one single entity of the world. We are a part of the same sea. And this is a sea in which, if we want to be successful, if we want to just reach the other end of the sea successfully, we need to be very wise. And as teachers, as instructors, the role of a teacher, or the role of an instructor, must be based upon very good, best, practically practiced, you can say, pedagogical processes. So last but not the least is that try to be good humans, try to be good teachers, try to be good instructors, and these things are going to come back in uncountable ways. And that is all for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. That is all for today. May the host be here.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for rich content presentation which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new which was our only. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Ma'am, I think after a wonderful presentation, our participant can understand the topic very clearly. That's why no questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new day. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. Honorable ma'am, before we move to the next, if you want to leave this study, you can.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Dear IGP, now it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP, now it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, move to the next with the learning test passing mark 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download a certificate. If fail to retake the quiz. Download a certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, move to the next with learning test passing mark 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download your certificate. If fail to retake the quiz, download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP, now it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. We change a few processes for online quiz competition. Note that after live, no one can participate. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.eduigp.com and sign up or sign in. Without this, you cannot join live quiz competition anymore. Browse the live quiz button or given link. Find the session name and join with your logged website or user account. Click join and wait for a few minutes for others to join and enjoy an online live quiz competition. After the quiz, we will issue certificate for top 10 as previously, which you can find on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. our quiz session right now. First question is, in the SPP, the pedagogist practice captures fundamental teaching process and teaching. Is it option one or option two? Option two is the right answer. 25% people are right here. Second question is, pedagogical knowledge is the teacher's knowledge of process and practice in teaching and learning. Is it true or false? Option one is the right answer. 100% people are right. Which of the following describes the pedagogy practice in the Singapore teaching practice? Is it option one or option two? Option one is the right answer. 10% people are right here. Next question is, in language teaching, dash is study of pedagogy practice, including theoretical implication and related research. Is it option one or option two? Option two is the right answer. 90% people are right here. Next question is, which of the following is not one of the four teaching process in pedagogy's practice of STP? Is it option one or option two? Option two is the right answer. 74% people are right here. Next question is, one of the four teaching process is the STP pedagogy practice is PCC. What does it stand for? Is it option one or option two? Option two is the right answer. 85% people are right here. Next question is, which of the following is not a teaching process in the pedagogy practice of STP? Is it option one or option two? Option two is the right answer. 20% people are right here. Eighth question is, pedagogy practice enable teacher in training too. Is it option one or option two? Option two is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our second last question of the session is, pedagogical practice in general, how to teach. Is it option one or option two? Option two is the right answer. 47% people are right here. Last and final question of the session is, neoliberal reform caused a shift in pedagogy practice. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 90% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in a top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group instead of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in a top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group instead of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in a top 10. Congratulations again. Take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group instead of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy as to say. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I saw hit the like button, again wants to thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.